not do it again. Oh, hello everyone.
Hello.
The name's Michael Achilles, and no, Achilles doesn't mean I have a weakness in my heels, so don't try anything. Me, you. Now, I'd like to tell the story of Icarus. Now, the story begins in the ancient world of Greece, on the island of Crete. And on this island, it is ruled by a cruel king known as King Minos. And he was a terrible man. I mean, he'd behead you just for looking through a window. But basically, he was in need of an inventor, an engineer. And he sent all his messages out to find a certain engineer to build him a labyrinth. And it had been 2 days, and he couldn't find anyone. I mean, no one. But then he hears the name Daedalus. Now, he hears Daedalus is a great inventor, a great engineer. I mean, he could build a table within 2 days. Those days it was pretty impressive. And so, he sends a messenger out to see Daedalus and tells him, I need you to come to my palace and build me a labyrinth. Daedalus decides he will go, but on one condition, that he will bring Icarus. Now, Icarus is a typical teenager. I mean, he doesn't want to go to a palace. He'd rather go out drinking and flirting with the girls. Well, I love them. And so, eventually, after so many times of nagging him to come along, Icarus gives in. And so, they travel to the palace, and it takes them a day. And on arrival, King Minos sets Daedalus to work straight away. And this takes them 3 days to build. And eventually it is built. And so King Minos is happy and just says, Daedalus, I am so happy for what you have done. Please join me for dinner at my palace. And so they join him for dinner. Now Icarus is getting drunk, like a normal teenager, and Daedalus is just curious. Why did you want me to build this labyrinth? King Minos says, allow me to show you. And so he stands up, leads Daedalus towards a big metal door with iron bars on it. He opens the door, unlocking so many locks. Daedalus, why are there so many locks in there? King Minos says nothing. And so he leads them down this dark spiral staircase. And then finally, they come to a littered room. And there was such a smell that Daedalus, oh my God, what is that horrible smell? But King Minos just pointed out towards the end of the chamber. Daedalus slowly and cautiously approaches this chamber at the end of the chamber and sees bars. He peers in. Then suddenly, a massive roar comes from within the cage and sees the most hideous creature you could believe. This creature is known as the Minotaur. Now, if you do not know what a Minotaur is, it is half man, half bull. A creature of such savagery. A creature that is stronger than 20 men, stands taller than 2 full-grown men, and has such a thirst for human flesh. I hope you don't wash. So, Daedalus is scared and doesn't know what to do. He shouts at Minos, "You're mad! You madman, why do you keep this thing here?" King Minos stares at him and says, "Would you kill your own stepson?" Now, Daedalus says, "I'll tell everyone." "You will not," says Minos. "You now know my secrets. You shall never leave this island." And so, he calls for his guards. The guards grab Daedalus and start dragging him back towards the door. And then, poof, Daedalus is knocked out. But the next thing that Daedalus sees, he's in a tower, locked inside with his son Icarus. "Father, what have you done now?" Daedalus is not listening. He's just thinking, we have to get out of here. And Icarus, "Yeah, that'd be great, but we're like in a tower. What do you expect us to do?" "Oh, dig? We can't dig through the floor. Solid rock." And so it seems there's no hope. And after 3 days, Delius is just staring out the window and just thinking, how can we get out of here? And then suddenly, whoosh! A seagull comes flying by and starts flapping down towards the beach. And it hits it. I've got it! I've got it, Icarus! Icarus sits up from having been drinking too much wine. What do you mean you've got it? And he goes, I've got an idea! We'll fly! Okay, you said King Minos was mad, you're off your trolley. And so, Delius is not listening again and just starts fashioning a bow and some arrows and gives them to Icarus and says, Icarus, head down to the beach and kill as many birds as you can. And so Icarus does this. And he throws a rope out the window and starts climbing down. He rushes down towards the beach and sees the first seagull, pulls out an arrow, pulls back. Don't know if they actually did that, though. And then he continued to do this after 5 minutes. He has enough seagulls. He starts stuffing them into a bag and starts carrying them back up towards the tower. Now, he finds the key at the door at the bottom of the tower is open. And he quickly runs through and starts climbing up the big spiral staircase. He rushes up, but halfway, I've got to go on a diet. And eventually, he gets into the tower, throws the sack of seagulls on the floor while panting for breath. There you go. About 50 seagulls. 50 seagulls? Okay, I didn't mean for you to kill the whole flock. Oh, that's all the gratitude I get. Next time you do this yourself. Doing great. But so, anyway, Icarus takes out the first seagull, chucks it at Icarus. Icarus, start plucking like your life depends on it. And so they're plucking away, and they're plucking and every single they can get. And then eventually Delius fashions these great wings. And now he shows Icarus how to put them on. And so he tells Icarus, right, first thing we're going to do, we're going to jump out this window. What? We're going to jump out this window and we're going to fly. Okay, are you sure this is going to work? Have I ever let you down? Well, there has been a couple of times. You go, just do as you're told. And so he jumps on to the windowsill. Oh God, he's going to kill himself, Icarus is complaining. And he goes, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. He flies, he jumps out the window and opens his wing, starts flapping like mad. And he's swooshing up. Icarus is just going, oh God, he's dead, he's killed, so I'm going to be fed to a minotaur, I'm doomed. But then he sees, Icarus, stop whinging and start flying. You're alive? And Icarus quickly rushes onto the windowsill, looks down and goes, oh God, I forgot I hate heights. 1, 2, 3. Apollo, save me! He opens his wings and starts flapping like mad, with his eyes shut tight. I'm alive! I'm flying! Yes, that's lovely, son. Just start moving across the sea. Come on, start flying with me. And so they start flying out towards the sea. And Icarus is starting to enjoy himself so much. He's loving the feeling of flying with the wind flowing through his hair. And so he starts thinking, I bet I can go higher. I bet I can go so high I can reach the sun. And he starts flapping higher and higher. Delius is shouting back, saying, son, do not fly too close to the sun, otherwise the wax in the feathers will melt. But Icarus is not listening. He's pulling off corkscrews and tricks of all sorts. But then suddenly, he flies too high, and you can feel the wax melting off the wings. He's going, oh, Jesus! And he's starting to fall down, and down, and down, and down towards the sea. He goes, oh, there! And eventually, splash. Are you right back there, son? Delius says. He doesn't hear anything. Delius shouts again, son, you better not be mucking around back there. And then he decides to turn round. So he swerves round and looks everywhere for Icarus, but sees nothing. He looks down at the ocean, but what he sees is just the feathers floating on the sea.